All right, guys, here I am. Quick video. This will be a short one for this equations review test. You guys have already taken a test on equations similar to this one way back in like late September. All right, but I think it's really important to be good at this, so that's why we're redoing this part. I'm just gonna go through some of the ones on the practice test. So for example, number one, these are one-step equations. Number one is negative 7x equals 21. There's only one step, so that's where you go straight into the once upon a time. There was an x. What happened to him? He got multiplied by negative 7. To undo multiplying, we divide by the same guy that's doing the multiplying by negative 7. That cancels that. X equals negative 3. Okay? The second one is almost exactly the same. It's x over negative 7, which means divided by, that equals 2. Once upon a time, oops, that's terrible, but that's okay. Once upon a time, there was an x. He was divided by negative 7, so to undo dividing by negative 7, we multiply both sides. So you, not down here, you multiply the sides, so it's kind of like that. Okay, so up here, you times by negative 7. That cancels that. You do the same thing to the other side, because 11th commandment, you have to do the same thing to both sides. X equals negative 14, okay? The next one on the practice test is a two-step. It's negative 2x minus 5 equals negative 7. Boy, lots of negative 7s in this one. So once upon a time, this is undoing, but in the reverse order that it was done. So there was an x. First, he was multiplied by negative 2 and then minus by 5. So the last thing that happened on the side that the x is on is minus 5. So you could do plus 5 here, plus 5 there, or, as you know, I'm a flinger. I like to take the minus 5 and just fling it over plus 5. Okay, if it's negative on this side, the sign is always attached, so it's a negative 5. It's a minus 5. It's the same thing as combined with or plus a negative 5. You fling it over, it's a positive 5 over there. Negative 2x, then you simplify. Negative 7 plus 5 is negative 2. Then you divide both sides by the thing that's doing the multiplying, which is negative 2. Please don't say this is 0. The same thing divided by itself is not 0 when they don't, yes, they cancel, but they're not canceling. It's how many times does negative 2 go into 2, negative 2, once. What canceling means is 2 goes into that once, 2 goes into that once, okay? Not 0. All right, cool. Let's go super fast here. The next one, the first step should always be, if you can, is to simplify each side. There's a left side and a right side of an equation. This is the left side. This is not simplified. This side is, it's just a number. This is, a 5 is up against a parentheses. It means he's multiplying, which means he wants to distribute. 5 times x is 5x. 5 times negative 3 is negative 15. We leave the 10. I'm going to go faster now. We're going to fling the negative 15. 5x equals 10 plus 15. Remember, you could do plus 15 plus 15. 5x, we simplify. Do it first. 25, simplify. And then you divide both sides by 5. All right, gotta go start going faster on this video so you don't have to watch for 2 hours to get this. All right, cool. Number 5. Well, let's go ahead and do number 5. All right, number 5 is 7x, because there is a common mistake that I see a lot of you guys making on this type of problem, equals negative 12. Simplify each side. See your equal sign. See the two sides. this side can be simplified. These guys can go together. Do that first. Don't start flinging around until you simplify. A good 7x and a bad 3x, put them together, that's 4x. Leave that there. Start over. Okay? Simplify, start over. All right, 4x equals negative 12 minus 4. 4x equals negative 16. Divide by 4. I'm skipping some steps here because we're trying to make the video go faster. And that was that. All right. The next one on your practice test is number 6. 9x equals 6x minus 15. Another really important step in these, once you have simplified, after you have simplified each side, this is as simple as it can be, so is this. Then you try to get all your x's on one side. I like to get them all on the left, so I'm going to take these 6 x's, they're a positive, and I'm going to fling them over here, 9x minus 6x. Again, if you want to, you could do minus 6x there, minus 6x there. All right, I like to fling. Now, don't forget, see, there's a negative in front of the 15. It doesn't go away just because the 15 is alone. Simplify, 3x equals negative 15, divide by 3, and x is negative 5, all right? Next, number 7, I'm gonna skip number, let's do it really fast. Number 7, 11x plus 3 equals negative 5x minus 29. Fling the 5x over there, 6x, fling the 3 over there, negative 29 minus 3, negative 30. Oops, 16x. Bad 5. When it's over there, it's a good 5, 16x. Negative 29 minus 3, negative 32, divide by 16, x equals negative 2. Sorry about that. All right. Number 8. This one's important. Order of operations, or reverse order of operations. Negative 5x plus 4 over 7 equals negative 3. These are your two sides. This side is actually, you can't put these together, and you can't put 7 into those things. So it's as simple as it can be. This side is obviously as simple as it can be. So we do the next step, which is, once upon a time, there was an x. It's times by negative 5, then plus by 4, then divided by 7. Okay? So the last thing was divided by 7. It's the whole thing divided by 7, so we do the whole thing times 7 up here. That kills that. When I say kill, it's not a 0, it's a 1 and a 1, but 1s don't matter, right? If I times 7 there, I got times 7 there. So I get negative 5x plus 4 equals negative 21. I'm going to fling my 4 minus 4, negative 21 minus 4 is negative 25, and divide by negative 5, and x equals 5. Okay? All right. Number 9. This video is going longer than I thought. That's okay. We're going through them. This is important. This is a really important test. Negative 2. 2x plus 4 plus 3x equals 5x plus 4 minus 9x. Resist the temptation to start flinging around. Simplify each side first. Let's look at the left side. Negative 2 times 2x, negative 4x. Negative 2 times 4, negative 8. This guy has to wait. Just plus 3x equals, go ahead, write it down, 5x and a bad 9x, that's negative 4x, and then we got a plus 4. Keep simplifying. Don't fling around yet. Negative 4x and positive 3x, negative 1x minus 8 equals negative 4x plus 4. Get my x's on that side. Negative 1x plus 4x, right? If he's bad over here, he's good over here, equals 4. See, I got a positive 4. Fling the negative 8 plus 8. I get 3x equals 12. Divide by 3 and x equals 4. All right? Next one. They're called literal equations. You just have to do the steps, but it's just letters. So number 10, x minus y equals q. Okay? Solving for x. Once upon a time, there's an x. It was minus with y. We got to get rid of the minus y. We could plus y, or we could just fling the y. Q plus y. Done. X is alone. You're done. Next one. 4x plus q equals WL. Once upon a time, there was an x. He was times by 4 plus with q. We got to get rid of that guy. Leave the 4x. Fling the q or subtract q, WL minus q, okay? Can't put those together. Once upon a time there was an x. He was multiplied by 4. So we divide by 4, divide by 4. The x is alone. The answer is WL minus q all over 4. That's your answer. Okay, just checking on the video. It's looking good. All right. Next one. X over VE. X over VE equals L. Oh, isn't that cute? There was an X divided by VE. So we multiply by VE. We multiply by VE. Those cancel. And X equals love. LO times VE is LOVE. All right, I'm not going to write it down the second time. Number 13. This is something new since September. We didn't do this back when we did it in September. X squared minus 3 equals 253. Once upon a time there was an X. He was squared minus 3. I'm going to fling my 3. 253 plus 3. X squared equals 256. All right. And once upon a time there was an X. He was squared. How do you undo squaring? Square root. Square root. X equals 16. Now, next year we're going to get more detailed. It's actually, there are two answers. It's 16 or negative 16. For tomorrow or today, whatever day you're watching this video, you just have, you know the square root is 256. It's a memory item. You got to know your memory items. If you forget them, test it out. Take your piece of paper and say, let me try 16 times 16. Is that 256? All right? All right. Next question. Same thing. A squared one, 3x squared plus 17 equals 380. All right, 3x squared equals 380. I'm just skipping steps now. Minus 17. 3x squared equals 363. Divide both sides by 3. Right? Because there was an x, he was squared, he was times by 3. Last thing is times by 3, so we divide by 3. X squared equals 121. Take the square root of both sides, and x equals 11. Okay? Memory item. You got to know your memory items. You're going to get 2 like this. You got to know your memory items. 7 is 12.5% of what? Okay, now remember we did this whole thing, Mathanese equals 7 is, know your memory items, 1/8 of what? Now, if you really wanted to, you could actually just solve it. Once upon a time there was an x, it was times by 1/8. To undo timesing by 1/8, you divide by 1/8, which is the same thing as timesing by the reciprocal, 8 over 1, 8 over 1. We get an x equals 56. But you should kind of just know this. 7 is 1/8 of something. 7 is 1 part out of 8 parts of 56. All right. Next one, what is 60% of 35? What is, you should know 60% is 3/5 of 35. Okay, go like this. 7, 1, 3 times 7, 21. All right. Rear cruise number 17. On the original thing that I passed out, I was a terrible typo, but I fixed it. It was choice D, negative 3x times negative 4x. This just goes way back, practicing our negative times negative is positive, x times x is x squared. Okay, 12x squared. Question 18. This again is new to this test. We didn't do this back in September. Questions 18 and 19. We had 2x plus 3 times x minus 5 equals 0. So this is the weird kind you don't do once upon a time. You got two things, you multiply them together, you just have to recognize it. It's different, sorry, but that's, well, you learn new things, right? So one thing times another thing equals 0, which means either this thing, either 2x plus 3 equals 0, or x minus 5 equals 0, and then you solve them both. 2x equals negative 3, divide by 2, x equals negative 3 halves. You can leave it like that. You can call it negative 1.5 if it makes you happy. Here, x equals 0 plus 5, which is 5. Okay? There you go. That's it. All right? And then you just, if you see the two parentheses thing, just know, like, it's got to equal 0. I wouldn't give you one that didn't equal 0 in this type. All right. And then the last one is same thing, but there's 3 of them. X times x minus 5 times 3x minus 4 equals 0. You're multiplying things. Your temptation, to fling stuff around. Nope, not yet. You just got to recognize this type. If it equals 0, you got things that are multiplying. Either this has to be 0, or this has to be 0, or this has to be 0. So solve them all equal to 0. X equals 0. That was easy. That's one of them. X minus 5 equals 0. 3x minus 4 equals 0. Okay? That's 0. This is fling the 5. That's fling the negative 5. That's positive 5. This one, fling the 4. 0 plus 4 is 4. Divide by 3, divide by 3. X equals 4/3. Okay? There you go. 1, 2, 3. All right. Great video. Have a good day.